Okay, question number 65. So question 65 ले के भन्दैछ a student has to offer 2 subjects out of 5 subjects for a course namely commerce, economics, statistics, maths 1 and maths 2. Okay, maths 2 can be offered only if maths 1 is opted. Okay, the number of different combination. Okay, so 5 वटा सब्जेक्ट छ commerce, economics, stats, maths 1, maths 2. Okay. Now suppose case number 1 heरौँ. Say maths 1 is opted. Okay. So maths 1 opt हुँदाखेरि दुईटा सब्जेक्ट छान्नु पर्यो. एउटा चाहिँ maths 1 छान्यो रे. अर्को कतिवटा छान्नु सक्छ? 4टा. सो यसमा भयो 4टा डिफरेन्ट कम्बिनेसन हो. केस 2 मा maths 1 is not opted. सो उयो के भन्छ म्याथ्स 2 पनि अटोमेटिकली गइहाल्यो. सो 3टा रह्यो कमर्स, इकोनोमिक्स र स्ट्याटिस्टिक्स रह्यो हो. सो 3टा रह्यो, हामीले कतिवटा छान्नुपर्छ? 2टा छान्नुपर्छ. सो दिस इज कम्बिनेसन. यसमा परम्युटेसन हुँदैन किनकि द एरेन्जमेन्ट डज नट म्याटर. यसमा चाहिँ हुन्छ कम्बिनेसन. सो 3c2 इज इक्वल टु 3 फ्याक्टोरियल डिभाइडेड बाई 3 minus 2 factorial divided by 2 factorial, which is equal to 3 into 2 divided by 2, which is equal to 3. 3 factorial minus 2 factorial is 1 factorial. 1 factorial is 1. त्यो नलेको. So 3 भयो. So total कति भयो? 3 plus 4, which is equal to 7. Okay. यो भयो हाम्रो question number 65. अब 72 to 75 data interpretation जस्तो लाग्यो. Data interpretation चाहिँ I like to do in the end. 22 minutes रहेको छ. सक्ने हो कि होइन? ओके, डेटा इन्टरप्रिटेसन गरिहाल्नु पर्यो किनभने धेरैजनाको डाउट यसमा थियो. क्वेसन 72. ओके, नम्बर अफ प्रोडक्ट्स अफ बोथ एप्पल एन्ड स्यामसङ सोल्ड फ्रम 2010 to 14. आमाम सबैको स्यामसङको. ओके, एप्पलको हेरिहालौँ. 2010 मा 20 छ. 2010, 2011, 12, 13, 14 हो. ओके, 20 यसमा पनि 20, यसमा यो कति हो? 15 रहेछ. 15, 12 मा 13 मा 25, 14 मा फेरि 20. ओके, सो एप्पलको कन्सिस्टेन्ट रहेछ. यो पनि 20 भयो. 21, 2, 3, 4, 5 100 वटा प्रडक्ट. स्यामसङ, भगवान् मैले भर्खर स्यामसङ गरेको छु. ओके, के छैन, यो स्यामसङ. ओके, अब यसलाई एप्पल लेखौँ. एप्पल. ओके, 2020 मा 10 मा 15, त्यहाँदेखि एकैचोटि 25, त्यहाँदेखि घटेर यो कति हो? 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 5, 10 पुगेछ. त्यहाँदेखि 15, त्यहाँदेखि फेरि 10 हो. 10. ओके, सो कति भयो? 15 into 2, 30, 30 plus 20, 50, 75. ओके, सो टोटल भयो 175. टोटल अफ स्यामसङ. ओके, फास्ट गरौँ ल, फास्ट. which year saw maximum increase in sales of Samsung product? 13 होला नि. 12 to 13 maximum increase. 15 देखि 25 भएको छ. 12 to 13. Okay, which year saw maximum increase in Apple sale? Increase 10 to 11 होला नि. 10 to 11, yes, यो होला. Okay. What is the proportion of total number of items sold by Apple over the year? Which year? Over the years to that of Samsung. Okay. Ratio, proportion of Apple को छ 75 to that of Samsung 100. 25, 3/4, 3/4. Okay, 7 next. Okay, अब प्यासेजहरु गरौँ. 20 मिनेट रहेको छ. Let's roll. Question. Invasion of exotic species into new geography areas sometimes occur naturally and without human agency. However, humans action have increased this trickle to a flood. Okay, पहिला कम्ती हुन्थ्यो flood बनायो humans ले. Human caused introductions may occur either accidentally as consequence of human transport or intentionally but illegally to serve some private purpose or legitimately to procure some hope for public benefit by bringing a pest control by bringing a pest under control, producing new agricultural products, or providing novel recreation opportunities. Many introduced species are assimilated into communities without much obvious effect. However, some have been responsible for dramatic change to native species and natural communities. For example, accidental introduction of brown tree snake, Boiga irregularis in Guam and island Pacific, has thorough nest predation reduced 10 endemic forest bird species to the point of extinction. One of the major reasons for the world's great biodiversity is the occurrence of centers of endemism, so that similar habitats in different parts of the world are occupied by different groups of species that happen to evolve there. Every species naturally has access to everywhere on the globe. We might expect a relatively small number of species to become dominant in each biome. The extent to which homogenization can happen naturally is restricted by the limiting powers of this dispersal of most species in the face of physical barriers that exist to dispersal. By virtue of transport opportunities offered by humans, these barriers have been breached by an ever increasing number of exotic species. The effects of introduction have been converted to a hugely diverse range of local communities compositions into something much more homogeneous. Okay, it would be wrong, however, to conclude that introduction of species to a region will inevitably cause a line in species richness there. For example, there are numerous species of plants, invertebrates, and vertebrates found in continental Europe but absent from British Isles, mainly because they have so far failed to recolonize for the last glaciations. Their introduction likely to be like would likely to augment British biodiversity. The significant detrimental effect noted above arises when aggressive species provide a novel change to endemic biotas, ill-equipped to deal with them. Okay, with reference to the passage, which of the following statement is correct? An introduction of species to new geographical area always leads to reduce in biodiversity. त्यसो त होइन, त्यो भनेको छैन। जहिले हुन्छ भनेको छैन। तपाईँ यो प्यासेज पढ्नुभयो भने चाल पाउनुहुन्छ। ओके, बीले के भन्छ एक्जोटिक स्पिसिस इन्ट्रोड्युस बाई म्यान टु मेनी न्यू एरियाज हेभ अलवेज ग्रेटली अल्टर्ड अलवेज भनेको छैन कुन कुन खेप चाहिँ भएको छ भनेर यहाँ लेखेको छ यो कहाँ छ भने नि मेनी इन्ट्रोड्युस स्पिसिस आर एसिमिलेटेड इन्टु कम्युनिटिज विदाउट मच अभियस इफेक्ट भनेको छ हावेभर सम हेभ बिन रेस्पोन्सिबल फर ड्रामेटिक चेन्जेस टु नेटल स्पिसिस एन्ड नेटल कम्युनिटिज सबैजनाले गर्छ भनेको छैन हेभ अलवेज भनेको इट्स रङ म्यान इज द ओन्ली रिजन टु कन्भर्ट ह्युजली म्यान इज नट द ओन्ली रिजन माथि लेखेको छ ह्युमन कज इन्ट्रोडक्सन मे अकर हावेभर ह्युमन्स एक्सन्स हेभ इन्क्रिज ट्रिकल टु अफोर्ड पहिला पनि हुन्थ्यो पहिला पनि हुन्थ्यो तर ह्युमन्सले बढाएको छ सो ह्युमन्स म्यान इज नट द ओन्ली रिजन सो नन अफ देम इज करेक्ट ओके वाट वाइ डज म्यान उयो टु ब्रिड यस यो पनि हो टु इन्क्रिज एग्रिकल्चर प्रोग्रेस यो पनि हो यो तिनटै थियो प्यासेजमा 1 2 and 3 homogeneity prevented under natural condition evolution of group of species to local habitat presence of ocean and mountains या natural barrier को कुरा को निकाल्ने लेखेको थियो strong adaptation of group species to local physical and climate oh yes all of them are true okay how have human being influenced there by smuggling live organisms त्यो पनि हो building highways त्यो पनि हो त्यसले ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन हुन्छ making so the new species are not allowed यो त ह्युमन्सले गरेको होइन by ensuring new species do not have यो पनि ह्युमन्सले गरेको छैन I think 1 and 2 okay so हामी कहाँ पुग्यो क्वेसन नम्बर 80 मा पुग्यो so let's go back up again आमामा यत्रो बेसी कहिले सक्नु भगवान सक्छ जस्तो लागेन यो राउन्ड चेयर मैले गरेको जस्तो लाग्छ सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट 10 पनि गरेको जस्तो लाग्छ सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट 16 ओके ओके जति हुन्छ हुन्छ इङ्ग्लिस त तपाईँहरूले गर्न सक्नुभयो होला ओके इङ्ग्लिस म्याच कहीँ छोडिएको छैन होला नि। आई होप आई हेभन्ट लेफ्ट एनी म्याच पोर्सन। यो सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट, सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट, सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट, सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट। यो त सब प्यासेज हो। ओके, सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट, सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट, सेभ एन्ड नेक्स्ट। ओके ओके ओके, सो यति प्यासेज रह्यो। 14 मिनट छ। लेट्स गो लेट्स गो लेट्स गो। Okay, question number 59. Richer states have responsibility to cut down carbon emission and promote clean energy investment. These are the states that got electricity, grew faster and have higher per capita income, making them capable of sharing India's burden of becoming eco-friendly. Delhi, for example, can have generate its own electricity using solar rooftop panels, or even help poor state finance their clean energy products. It is no secret that state electricity boards, which control 95% of distribution network, are neck deep in losses. These losses further discourage states' utilities from adopting renewable energy, as it is more expensive than fossil fuels. Okay, which of the following is logical? Richer states must lead in production and adoption of renewable energy. Yes. Poorer state always have to depend. त्यस्तो होइन। इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बोर्ड्स क्यान इम्प्रुभ फाइनेन्सेस, त्यो पनि होइन हो जस्तो छ। तर यहाँ उयसमै त लेखेको छैन। त्यसमा नेक डिप इन लसेस त्यस्तो मात्रै लेख्छ। हाई यस्तो यस्तो पोर यो छैन। रिच यो वान हो। ओके, 59, 7 next, 60. Ultimate aim of the government is not to rule or control by fear, nor to demand obedience, but conversely to free every man from fear, that he may live in all possible security. In other words, to strengthen his natural right to exist and work without injury to himself or others. The objective of government is not to change men from rational beings into beasts or puppets. It should enable them to develop their minds and bodies in security and employ their reasons unshackled. Okay, whatever, which among the following is logical and rational inference that can be made? True aim of the government is secure citizens their social and political freedom. I think this is true. Primary concern of the government is to provide absolute social security. त्यो त होइन, एब्सोल्युट यस्तो एक्सट्रिम टर्महरू छ भने ज्यादा त राइट हुँदैन। द बेस्ट गभर्मेन्ट इज द वान द्याट अलाउ सिटिजन टु इन्जोय लिबर्टी इन अल म्याटर्स अफ लाइफ। यस्तो एक्सट्रिम हुन्छ नि, इन लिबर्टी इन एब्सोल्युट लिबर्टी इन अल म्याटर्स अफ लाइफ, यस्तो ज्यादातर राइट हुँदैन। ओके, अर्को कुरा, द बेस्ट गभर्मेन्ट इज वान द्याट प्रोभाइड्स एब्सोल्युट, यहाँ पनि यस्तो एक्सट्रिम लेखेको हुन्छ नि, एब्सोल्युट फिजिकल, यो ए हो आन्सर। ओके, 61ले के भन्छ? A stout old lady was walking with her basket down the middle of a street in Petrograd, to the great confusion of the traffic and no small peril to herself. Peril भनेको danger. It was pointed out that to her that the pavement was placed for foot passengers, but she replied, "I am going to walk where I like. We have got liberty now." It did not occur to the dear lady that if liberty entitled foot passengers to walk in the middle of the road, it also entitled taxi drivers to drive on the pavement, and that the end of such liberty would be universal chaos. Everything would be getting in everybody's way and nobody would get anywhere. Individual liberty would have become social anarchy. Okay. It was pointed out to the lady that she should walk on the pavement because she is a pedestrian. Of course, pedestrian has to walk in the pavement. Okay. Next, lady refused to move from the middle of the street because she felt that she is entitled to do whatever she likes. She was not afraid of killed. She did not like walking in the pavement. She was confused. Yeah. प्यासेजमा जे भनेको छ, आई एम गोइङ टु वक वेयर एभर आई लाइक, वी गट लिबर्टी नाउ, जे लेखेको छ त्यही चाहिँ त्यहाँ खोज्नुपर्छ आन्सरमा। तपाईँलाई मैले यो कुरा धेरै खेप सम्झाएको छु। द लेडी फेल टु रियलाइज द्याट सी वाज नट रियली फ्री, त्यो होइन, हर लिबर्टी वाज नट उयो अनलिमिटेड। इट डिड नट अकर टु द लेडी द्याट इफ एन्टाइटल यहाँ छ, इट मिन्स लिबर्टी इज नट अनलिमिटेड। सी वाज ओल्ड पर्सन, रोड्स आर मेड फर मोटर भेहिकल्स ओन्ली, त्यस्तो पनि कहीँ लेखेको छैन हो। यहाँ लेखेको लिबर्टी, उसको लिबर्टीको बारेमा कुरा गरेको छ नि। सो 7 नेक्स्ट। ओके, अब कुन कुन रह्यो? आमाम लहरै रहेको छ। कुन चाहिँ गरौँ? लु यो गरौँ। एउटा कुरा हो ओके accountability or the lack of it in government governance generally and civil service in particular is a major factor underlying the deficiencies in governance and public administration. Designing an effective framework for accountability has been a key element of the reform agenda. The fundamental issue is whether civil service should be accountable to the political executive of the day or to the society at large. In other words, how should internal and external accountability be reconciled? Internal accountability is sought to be achieved by internal performance monitoring, official supervises official supervision bodies like the Central Vigilance Commission and Comptroller and Auditor General, and judicial review of the executive decisions. Article 311 312 of the Constitution provide job security and safeguard to the civil service, especially the All India services. The framers of the Constitution had envisaged the provision of this safeguard will result in in a civil service that is not totally subservient to the political executives, but will have strengthened to function in larger public interest. The need to balance internal and external accountability is thus built into the constitution. Okay. The issue is where to draw the line. Over the years, emphasis have to tilted in favor greater internal accountability of the civil service to the political leaders of the day, who are in turn expected to be externally accountable to the society at large through election process. This system for seeking accountability to society has not worked and has led to several adverse consequences for governance. Some special measures can be considered for improving accountability in civil service. Provision of Article 311 and 312 should be reviewed, and laws and regulations framed to ensure external accountability of civil services. The proposed civil service bill seeks to address some of these requirements. The respective roles of professional civil service and political executive should be defined so that professional managerial functions and management of civil service are depoliticized. For this purpose, effective statutory civil service board should be created at the center and in the states. Decentralization and devolution of authority to bring government and decision making closer to the people to help enhance accountability. Okay, according to the passage, which of the following led to the adverse consequence of governance public administration? Inability of civil service to strike between external and internal accountability. यो पनि हुनसक्छ ल्याक अफ सफिसियन्ट प्रोफेसनल ट्रेनिङ यो ट्रेनिङको कुरा गरेको छैन ल्याक अफ प्रपर सर्भिस बेनिफिट यो पनि कुरा गरेको छैन यो कुन चाहिँ हो क्वेसन 34 मा 1 हो जस्तो छ 2 होइन जस्तो छ 3 पनि होइन जस्तो छ 4 चाहिँ हो जस्तो छ है 1 and 4 छ यस 1 and 4 इज ओके with reference to the passage the following assumption have been made. Political executives is an obstacle to the accountability. यो त होइन in the present framework of independence, the political executives is no longer accountable to the society. यो पनि होइन neither 1 or 2. Okay, 36. Which one of the following is the essential message implied by this passage? Civil services are not accountable to the society they are serving. It obviously होइन. Educated and enlightened persons are not taking up political leadership. यो पनि होइन. Framers of the constitution यो पनि होइन. There is need and scope for reforms. Yes, यो चाहिँ हो. Okay. According to the passage, which of the following is not a means of enhancing internal security? Better job security and safeguard. यो त हो. Supervision by यो पनि हो. यो पनि हो. Seeking ordinance to enhance यो त होइन. So D चाहिँ होइन, which is not भनेको छ हो. So save and next. Okay, यो passage, I think this will be the last passage we read. Then this all will be left unsolved. Okay, no problem. Direction for 4 items. Read the following passage. Okay, fast पढ्छु. Biomass for fuel, power, heat has the highest mitigation potential of all renewable resources. It comes from agriculture and forest residue as well as from energy crops. Biggest challenge in using biomass residue is a long-term reliable supply delivered to the power plants at a reasonable cost. The key problems are logistical constraints and the cost of fuel collection. Energy co-op, if not managed properly, compete with food production and have undesirable impacts on food prices. Biomass production is also sensitive to physical impacts of changing climate. Protection of the future role of biomass are probably overestimated, given the limits to sustainable supply unless breakthrough technologies substantially increase productivity. Climate change, climate energy models projection that biomass could increase fourfold around 150 to 83, almost quarter of world primary energy in 2050. However, maximum sustainability of biomass, both residual and energy crop, without disruption to food resources ranges from 80 to 170, and only a part of this is realistically and economically feasible. In addition, some climate modules rely on biomass-based carbon capture and storage, an unproven technology to achieve negative emission and to buy some time during the first half of the century. Some liquid biofuels such as this may aggregate rather than ameliorate carbon emission on a life cycle basis. Second generation biofuels such as this hold promise of sustainable production that is high yielding and emit low levels of greenhouse gas, but they are still in R&D stage. Okay, what is the present constraints in using biomass as fuel? Question number 38. Lack of sustainable supply. Yes, biomass product compete with food production. That also yes, in a way. Constraint नै हो यो पनि. Biomass energy may not be low carbon life cycle basis. यो पनि ठिकै हो. 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now, which of the following can lead to food security problem? Agriculture and forest residue as feedstock for power generation. यो होइन. Biomass for carbon capture and storage. यो पनि होइन. Promoting cultivation and energy crops. यो हो 3 only. Okay. ओके यो इङ्ग्लिस पोर्सनमा चाहिँ आई कुड बी रङ है. आइम जस्ट सोइङ छिटो छिटो गर्नु देखाउँदैछु के देखाउँदैछु हो, अप्रोच देखाउँदैछु. कतिवटा क्वेसन रङ पनि हुनसक्छ इङ्ग्लिस पोर्सनमा. म्याथ्स आई थिङ्क मोरलेस रङ छैन. एनिवे विल सी अहिले सल्युसन. इन द कन्टेक्स्ट अफ युजिङ बायोमास विच अफ द फलोइङ इज आर यस्तो characteristic sustainable. Biomass is a food and it could meet all the primary requirements in the world. Not really. Biomass for food does not necessarily यो हुनसक्छ. Biomass as a fuel could help in achieving negative energy, even giving nascent technologies. I'm not so sure of this one. Mark for review. Okay, question 41. Some suggest the use of biomass as a fuel, greenhouse gas emission. Not really. यो पनि 2.2 त होइन हौ. Neither लाग्यो मलाई, but this one also not so sure. Okay, so 1 minute रह्यो.